Happy 2025. I know I'm very enthusiastic about 2025. I don't know about you guys, but I found 2024 full of challenges. So apparently, that's actually what the stars, the feng shui flying stars said would happen in 2024. You'd get people who are flying through the year really, really well. And then you get people who have a little more challenges thrown at us, like myself. So today I am going to talk to you all about the feng shui for 2025 and the advice that I have been following for over a decade. It is from fengshuistore.co.uk. I'm going to put their link here because they're feng shui masters. You will see a lot of different advice all over TikTok, all over Instagram, Facebook. And I have found that if you choose somebody that you align with and only look at their stuff and follow their stuff, it'll just be much easier. If you find that you're following their stuff and it's not working for you, then maybe you'll go, maybe I chose the wrong feng shui master to follow. I have been following them. I've also bought their cures for many, many years. I think what they do is very good stuff, and I will give them credit. I personally have chosen not to buy the cures this year for the first time in like a decade, only because I'm really working on this whole power within me thing. And I think that when we realize, yes, it's great to enhance good energy in our homes, in our lives, I think essentially, and then we eat well, and then we follow certain advice from wellness influencers. It's great. But really, all of that power of optimizing our health, our wellness, our safety comes from a power within us. There's always free will to choose things. Some say they believe in destiny, some believe in God. And really, for us here on earth, I think it's just all about the process and learning from the challenges and taking those little challenges in life that are thrown at us as breadcrumbs. I've written about this in my Substack. So you can go follow me on Substack. It's Sandy Cruz, SandykRuse .substack, substack.com. And I write a lot of shorter, more explorative essays that relate to our wellness, body, mind, spirit, soul. And I think you'll like it if you like to read about these kinds of things. I also write on Medium now and again. So, and I've also released my essential thyroid guide. Most of you who follow me know that I had thyroid cancer at age 41. And 2 days ago, I just turned 55. So now I'm going through menopause without a thyroid gland. And there's some challenges. Many medical professionals would say, well, you have medication to control that. And I'm like, yeah, but I do believe energetically when you are without a master gland or you're without a gallbladder, even without appendix, whatever it is, I think that it changes the dynamic of how your body works. And so it's always about rejigging for me, hormones. So I wrote the Essential Thyroid Guide last year. It is a patient advocacy guide. It is not clinical. It's not a clinical book because you can find many of those anywhere you shop for your books. It is simply a patient advocacy guide that really takes into account the body, the mind, the spirit, and the soul as it relates to the health of this important little master gland right here. So I am a registered holistic nutritionist. I am also a certified metabolic balance coach. I am the podcast host of Sandy K Nutrition Health and Lifestyle Queen podcast. This is my 5th year, and this is my 5th episode on Feng Shui. Feng Shui is just one of those ways in which I like to enhance the positive energy in my home each year. This was, I think, the first time I called in a Feng Shui consultant was back in probably 2012 after my daughter was diagnosed with cancer. I was diagnosed with cancer 1 year later. And then maybe 2013, my husband coded in hospital from bacterial pneumonia. Then I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So I'm like, is that my energy? At that point, I remember I wanted to move. I wanted to leave. I thought, oh my God, my house is cursed. I had a lot of things going through my head. And then I started to really study and research feng shui. I brought in a consultant. I bought software. I was doing feng shui, like just patterning of the homes for friends and family. And I really got into it. And now, how many years later, I still love it. I still feng shui my home each year. And I do this episode because there are tiny little tweaks that we can do in our home just to enhance. It's called the flying stars, and it's a really complicated calculation in feng shui where they calculate the flying stars for the year, the annual flying stars. And that's what I follow. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your compass on your iPhone or your Android, just search for compass, and you're going to stand in the center of your home facing your front door. And with that compass, you're going to see what direction is my front door facing. This is the easiest way to map out the directions in your home. Then you're going to draw like a tic-tac-toe grid. I'm going to show you right here. And for those of you who are listening, just think of tic-tac-toe. So it's going to be reverse for you who are looking at this. But this is my home. And you're going to draw this grid, and there's going to be 9 spots. So think of tic-tac-toe, think of 9 spots. And then you're going to put where your front door faces at the bottom center, the bottom center. So mine is northeast. And then you're going to draw all the directionals or mark all the directionals in the proper order. So then northeast, north, northwest, west, southwest, south, southeast, east, and then center of your home. Then you're going to know, like, so I know, for example, my front door faces the northeast. And then I have a living dining room that faces in my east section. So you're going to know basically what rooms are where in your home. This is by far, I used to actually have software that would provide a floor plan and all of that. And yes, it's very, very detailed. You don't need that. You just need approximate spaces so that you know approximately what area is what in your home. Now, the next thing is just remember that with feng shui, you've got 5 elements. Okay. So you've got wood. And so that could be symbolic with colors like green. Um, and, this is where you're going to find it really conflicting, meaning that some might say blue, the color blue is water. And it depends on who you follow. So let me finish this first. Wood, fire, earth, metal, and water are the 5 elements in feng shui. And the colors, this is where it gets complicated, and the elements. So, for example, if I have a painting that is with water, and let's say the water is green. Well, that's where it gets confusing, right? Because the green color can be more symbolic of the element of wood, but then the painting is of water, which means an element of water. What I want you to do is make it simple for yourself. Instead of listening to all the feng shui experts, I want you to say, okay, well, to me, that painting, even though the water looks green, it symbolizes water for me. So a lot of feng shui, it's subjective, right? It's subjective. And I always say to people, look at how things resonate with you. When you're feng shuiing your home, and this is why, yeah, calling in a consultant might be okay just to learn from them. But in the end, I say this all the time, even when you're, let's say, smudging or cleansing your home, I always think it's best to do it yourself because only you know the intent and the purpose and what's inside of you on what your outcome is going to be. I'm not saying people have bad intent towards you. I mean, some might, but this is why I'm saying when you learn it yourself and you do it yourself, it's always going to work better because it's going to resonate with you. I hope that makes sense. So, 2025 is the year of the yin wood snake. Now, the energies overall, they're predicting that they're going to be more settled, a little calmer. And this is good, right? Because of what I was saying at the start. 2024 happened to be a year where for some it was really good, and for others it was really not good. I'm just kind of dealing with last weekend, I was dealing with a kidney stone. I'm like, and then I had COVID. Like, I had a lot going on last year that weren't really great. And so they're saying that yin wood years can really bring resolution and resilience, not just to yourself, but to the world. And I think the world could use that, right? Now, the advice that I always follow, they will give you a section. So, for example, the center of your home, and they will indicate whether it's auspicious or inauspicious. So, if it's auspicious, that means it can really be a lucky part of your home if you activate the energies. Inauspicious means it can really be a not such a great place in your home. So you want to downplay the energies. This is the best way for me to describe what auspicious and inauspicious means. And I'm going to start with the center of the home, which is considered auspicious. So, in the center of your home this year, you're going to want to have metal and earth elements. So, if you enhance this energy in the center of your home, you're going to enhance the luck, the health, the relationships, the wealth. So, you're going to want to work with this energy. So the colors that you're going to want are white, silver, gold, copper, brown, beige, yellow. You want to avoid colors like green, reds, oranges, purples, pinks. You also don't want black, gray. And I mean, here's where I'm going to do a little pause. If you're anything like me, your entire house is probably black, gray, beige, blue. So again, it's not like you're going to go and rip out all your hardwoods because there's too much beige or brown. You're going to try and enhance that area with the energy and the colors and the elements that are more beneficial for that area. So I kind of say this all the time. I never go too crazy with paint colors in my home. I won't paint an entire wall red or blue's not so bad because it's a little bit more of a calming color. But red, especially, I'll never get a red couch. I'll never paint a wall red because it always signifies fire. So having a fire element can be really good if you want to enhance that energy. But having fire when you can't really take it away can be very overpowering and overwhelming. So that's why I just choose more muted, downplayed colors and then use elements, or I'll use a throw or maybe a rug or something like that, just to play around with the elements and the colors for that area in my home. So back to the center. Some of the things that are really good to put in the center as it relates to elements, you don't want candles in the center of your home this 2025. You don't want red. You also don't want much wood, fire, and water. So again, in the center of my home, I mean, I have a print that is water, but I think if I enhance the area, I have a nice singing bowl that is metal. And they say it's a good idea. You can put crystals inside, and they say the number 8 for the center. So 8 small crystals inside of a singing bowl that's metal is a really great element to add to the center of your home. Just no candles. Candles are really tricky. So not only are many of them toxic, but they're tricky in that if you burn candles, or let's say, I have one of those Himalayan salt lamps. I actually have many of them. And if you are one of these people that has it on all the time, it's this kind of a low energy of fire that's always activated in that area. So I may have that saltwater not salt water, sorry, Himalayan salt lamp in the area because it's shown to really help cleanse energy, but I might not turn it on if that area of my home does not want too much fire because any kind of light signifies fire. Let's move on to the south. Okay, the south, auspicious. So in the south, we want metal and earth. The south is going to be especially crucial for career, wealth, and luck, and especially beneficial for females of the home if you activate it. So the colors that you want are brown, beige, yellow, white, silver, gold. You want to avoid black, gray, blue, green, reds, purple, orange. Remember, reds, pinks, it's all in the same family. You can find all this online, by the way. You want to avoid wood, fire, and water. The South is a great place for human interaction, some socializing. You definitely don't want candles there, but they say it's a good place for crystals. So that's that. Southwest, auspicious, especially beneficial for relationships, wealth, and luck. And again, a great place for the females and mothers. So you want to enhance this if you're a mom and if you're a female. In here, you want a lot of earth and fire. The colors that you want are brown, beige, yellow, red, and purple, pinks, that kind of thing. You want to avoid green, white, silver, gold, black, gray, blue. You want a lot of candles and crystals in this area. And this area, the Southwest, happens to be a very strong manifestation area. And listen, I've got a bunch of different things that I do for manifesting. And remember, I've actually recorded a podcast about this. If you're not matching the energy as well as the frequency and vibration of what you're trying to manifest, which is really hard to do, you guys, then it's going to be tough to manifest. And I have my own little ritual that I've been trying, and it's supposed to really kind of help you raise your vibration to actually feel what you're trying to manifest. I can tell you what it is. Why not? I take out my journal every day and I'm writing the date of 1 year later. So, for example, today I'm recording this on January the 8th, 2025. I'll write January the 8th, 2026. And I'm writing it like it's 1 year later. And I'm writing it like, I'm so grateful for that incredible opportunity I had to release my book with this publisher. I'm just giving you an idea. So You show gratitude, you show thankfulness, you actually pause and feel the energy, which is really kind of cool when you do that. I want you to think about what you did when you were a child. We did a lot of imaginary work, daydreaming. We didn't even know we were doing it. So that's kind of what this is. And you're going to write this in your journal for 30 days. Not the same thing, but each day, write what it is that you experienced. And you're writing it as though it already happened, but you're going to do it for 30 days. Give it a try. I'm doing it right now. I think I'm on the third week and I haven't missed one day. So I'll keep you posted on that. So the Southwest is actually a great place for manifesting. So one of the tips given by the Feng Shui masters, write all your hopes and dreams, and you're going to place it under something that would signify an earth element, like slate, like a little slate, I don't know, coaster. I have a slate coaster, actually. So you're going to put it under there and you're going to keep it there in the Southwest. And you're also going to avoid metal, water, and wood there. In that area, you're also, because it's such a great, powerful area, you're going to add family photos, some light. So here's a perfect place where you can put that Himalayan salt lamp and just kind of have it on all the time. It's a great place for it in the Southwest. Um, Mandarin ducks. I actually have these two Mandarin ducks that, you can face each other. They're made of quartz, rose quartz, and they're sitting on a jade leaf. They're so cute. I move them around my home. I make sure I cleanse them and charge them each year. So I'll pause here and talk a little bit about cleansing. So you can buy a lot of these cures on Amazon because let's face facts, life is expensive. So we're kind of looking at where can we get the things, like the little things. Like I talk about a Wooloo. It's like a little health gourd. And the ones that I have are made out of solid brass. They're beautiful. I have them at the bedside tables, and I try to do a cleansing and a charging twice a year, but sometimes, life gets away from you, right? So um, what you're going to want to do is if you find these things on Amazon, I talk about the 6 Chinese coins tied with a red ribbon, you're going to want to charge them and you're going to want to cleanse them. There's a couple of different ways you can cleanse them. They're two different things. Charging and cleansing are two different things. So when you cleanse them, that's number one. You want to cleanse it of any energies. Who knows where it was made and how it got to you, and you don't know anything, right? And all objects and humans, we hold energy. So you're going to want to cleanse it. One way of doing that is doing a smudge with whatever, and I'm a big believer that any smoke smudge will work. I've heard different things about how white sage has become like an endangered plant or something. I don't know. Anyway, just use some sort of a smoke that, because think about it, in all religions, they've always had smoke as a clearing method. So do that. And you can use sage, you can use sandalwood, you can use whatever it is that you, Palo Santo is another one that's very popular, whatever it is that you want to do. And then another way I have seen people do this is you can, if you want to cleanse crystals, especially, you can put them out in the sun for the entire day and just sprinkle a little bit of rock salt on them and leave them out. And that will kind of be like double duty because the sun, some will say the moon too, will charge whatever objects with energy. Sun is like, and the moon, both very powerful for charging. Okay. So whatever you buy, you're going to want to do this no matter what. Highly recommend it because you have no idea what is being held in that little thing that you bought. Okay, let's move on to the West. Inauspicious. So, inauspicious. If it's activated when you don't want it to be activated, that area, It can lead to relationship issues, career, and well-being problems with well-being. So you want to add fire and earth here. The colors that you want in the West, yes to reds, oranges, pinks, yellow, purple, brown. No to white, silver, gold, green, blue, black, gray. The elements that you want are fire and earth. You do not want elements of wood, metal, and water. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen that little it's a three-legged toad and it's sitting on coins and then it has a coin in its mouth. That's a great thing to add in this area. Yes to lots of candles. Yes to, oh, sorry, no to plants. You don't want your plants here in the West. You want a quiet and calm area for the West. Easier said than done, right? Imagine like little kids and you're like, no, you can't laugh here. You can't play here. Anyway, so again, everything within reason, okay? Northwest, inauspicious. If the negative energy in the Northwest is activated, it can cause stress. Who doesn't have stress, though, right? Legal issues, loss of wealth, theft, and arguments. So you want to add fire and earth. You want these colors. You want reds, oranges, purples, pinks, beiges, browns. You do not want green, whites, silvers, black, gray, blue. You do not want wood, metal, or water. You do want candles, crystals, lights. So again, that's a great place for that little Himalayan salt lamp that you keep on all year round, little low light. You do not want renos. So that's the other thing with feng shui. There's some areas where if you disturb the ground, so I'm not talking about painting a little bit or, doing a little bit here and there. I'm talking about major renos, like a bathroom reno or let's say you're ripping up all your floors. So the Northwest is an area that they want you to be calm and quiet in. So renos would kind of be a no-no. The North is inauspicious. So, if activated, the risks are burglary, deception, backstabbing, gossip. So, you do want wood and water elements. The colors you want are greens, blacks, grays, and blues. You want to avoid beiges, browns, reds, whites, silver, pinks. You don't want metal, you don't want fire, and you don't want earth elements. Okay. You want it calm and quiet again. They really want you to have a calm and quiet home, it seems. It's kind of hard. So you do want to add plants in this area. No candles, no wind chimes. If you're a wind chime person, I'm going to give you a place where you can add your wind chime. Okay. Northeast, inauspicious. If activated, there's risks of illness, accidents, bankruptcy, fatalities. Damn. You don't want to activate that energy, right? So, yes to metal. And that's the only element that they're saying yes to. This is the place that you do want a wind chime. My front door happens to be facing northeast. I don't know if I want a wind chime there. I'm going to have to think about that because I try and be very subtle with all of my feng shui cures. So, what I do, so that most of you who do live on multiple levels, I have 3 levels. So, I have my basement, it's finished, main floor, and I have a second floor. If I can't find a place for it on the main floor, I will put it upstairs because that area of the home is still facing that same direction and it's still that part of the home. So that's a concept and an idea you can look at if you're not interested in having a giant, you know, metal wind chime at your front door. Okay. So you do want a wind chime in the northeast, but it's a metal one. Okay. You want your saltwater cure. So normally in the past, it's always been 2 places for a saltwater cure. So I want you to look up saltwater cure and actually, instead of getting into it here, I'm going to actually put the link on how to do a saltwater cure in the description because I would argue that saltwater cures are one of the most potent Chinese or feng shui cures for any home to dissipate negative energy in the home, in that area especially. So they really want you to put a saltwater cure there. You want to put the 6 Chinese coins. So you can get these on Amazon. There's 6 Chinese coins tied with a red ribbon. And even though it says, do not put elements or colors of fire, remember, if you do the 6 Chinese coins, even though it's tied with the red ribbon, you're enhancing the energy of those metal coins. It's not about adding, major red and fire elements. Just want to clarify that. So the colors you want are white, gold, copper, blue, bronze. You do not want reds, oranges, pinks, yellows, greens. So yes to metal. And you can also add water elements. That's okay. No to wood, fire, and earth. And this is where you can also put a little brass wooloo. I talked about that. You can get those on, I think you could get them on Amazon. I keep those at my bedside tables of all my bedrooms, and they are just health gourds. So, and that's a place that they want you to put that. The East, auspicious. Okay, we got a lucky area again. Strong wealth, luck, fame, and recognition. Yes to fire and wood in this area. The colors that you want are green, red, orange, purple, pink. No to brown, beige, yellow, white, silver, gold, black. Yes to the elements of fire and wood. No to earth, water, and metal. You can add, so there's a little Buddha that is like red and gold, and he's holding 2 sacks of money on the sides of himself. They say this is a great place to add that. You can add candles and plants here, fresh flowers, wooloo, and they're saying 8 Chinese coins. So I'm not sure why it's 8. I can't really tell you, but it probably has something to do with the area and the flying stars number. Southeast. It is auspicious. It enhances the career, the wealth, the overall luck. Now, that you want to use water and earth. The colors that you want are white, silver, gold, black, gray. You want to avoid green, brown, beige, reds, any kind of reds. Yes to the elements of metal and water. No to wood, fire, and earth. You don't want to do renos in the Southeast. You also don't want it to be too loud and crazy. And you do want 6 Chinese coins in this area. Usually there's 2 placements for those as well. This is the second placement. You do not want candles, and you do not want any large crystals either. So that's it. Now, some of you might say, well, elements of wood and earth can cross over, and they can. They absolutely can. But again, I want you to think of resonance and what makes sense for you. How do you relate to, a certain element? Do you consider it wood or do you consider it earth? So I think that's probably a very important factor to consider when as it relates to feng shui. And, good luck with it. I'm going to do a transcript of this. I'm probably not going to proof it, meaning there might be some spelling errors or whatever, but at least you'll have something that you can follow, or you can write this down, listen again, and just write it down, or you can go to the website and find the information. I kind of took there's a lot of information from these guys. They're very good at what they do, but I kind of consolidated it and made it easier in bite-sized pieces so that you can easily make these changes in your home. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, sandy@sandyknutrition.ca. Follow my podcast and share this. You know that I talk all about all aspects to wellness. And this is like one tiny, tiny little piece of what I talk about. February, I will hit 5 years of my show. I've had a lot of great, great guests on my podcast. Hopefully, I'll keep it going. There's a lot of interesting energies that I'm noticing much more, especially over the last year. And I'm not one of those podcasters or practitioners or speakers or anyone who pays to play. And I'm not that person that will be like, oh, I'm going to pay to be a part of this so that I look bigger and better. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of fakeness in the world. And I think a lot of other people are too. So it's just little old me doing my little old thing. And I hope that you will share this and follow Sandy K Nutrition Health and Lifestyle Queen podcast anywhere you listen. Follow me on all my socials. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads. I'm kind of everywhere. Just look for Sandy K Nutrition. And I want to thank you guys. And I wish you all a very happy and healthy and prosperous 2025.